Ladies and gents, welcome to the video. I'm GetGoodGuy, and I figured today let's try and inject some fun back into Battlefield 5 because nothing's been very fun for a little while covering it. And so today we're going to make fun of ourselves. If anyone takes offense from this video talking about their playstyle, I don't know what to tell you, it's just a game. So we're going to do it anyway. And we're also going to see if we can pull any kind of decent viewership on a Battlefield 5 video, because at the minute it's not happening. Regardless, I've got 20 types of players written down as bullet points of those that play Battlefield 5 in 2020, and I'm just going to talk about them completely unscripted and see what comes out of my mouth. Your role is to watch and enjoy and let me know in the comments below which kind of player you are, or if I missed any out that you think are of relevance. Let's get right into this. Player number 1 is Camouflage is a strategy guy. Yep, the people that lie around on this game with poor visibility, maybe on a rock in a bushes somewhere for let's say 15 minutes at a time, and claim they're using a technique, they're using a strategy, they're using a planned mechanic to go unseen and pick up 2 kills. And that's 2 kills that is definitely going to help their team while their squad mates are getting 20, 30, 40, capturing flags and all that kind of business. No, what this guy needs to do is use that camouflage of his uniform that's been carefully selected from the few terrible ones that are available, and have his soldiers' pixels blend in with the other pixels in the game to make a mesh of pixels and become the ultimate gamer, a stealth warrior, a ninja master, and totally embarrass the people around him trying to actually move around and play the game to a decent degree. Oh, and the guy also probably has a t-shirt which says camouflage is a strategy on it, which honestly I might make and try and sell to you guys because enough of you do it, so maybe you'll buy it. Player number 2 is Distant Tank Man, or woman. You know, I'm not going to say man or woman for everyone. The vast majority of soldiers in World War II were men, so we're going to go with man. Feel like I've gone on a tangent here. Distant Tank Man. You get the idea. The sort of player that gets a tank at the start of the game and sits about, let's say 3 billion miles away trying to snipe people. This often leads to them missing a lot of shots, but also not being taken out by the enemy and just creating a boring stalemate, which is always great. But can we really blame them at the minute when tanks are so poor at pushing forwards and yet actually somewhat effective if you shoot from range? Not the stupid 9 million miles thing I said earlier, or 9 billion, I can't remember, it's not scripted. But if you sit 100 meters away or so, it's easy pickings. So Distant Tank Man gets comfortable inside his vehicle, puts down his little butt cushion, has a little look through the sights, and just plunks away at people with his big old weapon. Do we like playing against him? No. Do we like having him on our team? Probably not. Can we hold it against him? Not really. Who does this make happy? Absolutely no one. Player number 3, World Record Shot Hunter. Yep, this guy's a sniper, generally, usually, bolt action user. And you know the tank guy that sits 9 million miles away? Well, this sniper guy does basically the same thing, but is even less likely to hit his shot. His only focus is trying to hit the longest shot in video game history with a 0.000000001% chance of actually doing it and achieving vast fame and fortune. He will take shot after shot after shot and miss pretty much every single one. Is this going to stop him from doing it? No. Is it a reputable strategy that helps the team? Absolutely not. How many of these guys are there? I can't count. There's far too many. Player number 4, somehow a noob in 2020. Yep, this person for some reason, despite the backlash against the game, has picked up Battlefield 5 for the first time in 2020, when the game was released in 2018, and has had basically negative press ever since then. But more power to them, we do need new blood flooding into the game, so somehow a noob in 2020 is probably wondering why they're getting slapped up, down, upside, inside out by everyone else around them who's been playing the game since 2018 and must be pretty much hardcore fans or YouTubers who can't play a different game now and have thus got a decent level of ability in the game. Somehow a noob in 2020 will maybe carry on trying to get better, but will probably come across all the bugs and problems and cancel content and quit the game in approximately 3.5 days time. Player number 5, STG Only Boy. These have been in the game since the start. The STG is very easy to use, it's a jack of all trades weapon, it performs in the traditional manner of an assault weapon in basically any FPS game ever, and is thus recognizable and controllable and familiar to them, and thus they use it 99.9% of the time. STG Only Boy now no longer has a name other than STG Only Boy. It's what his friends refer to him as, or for short, SOB. That's actually pretty clever, and I didn't even write this down. If you don't understand the joke, you're maybe too young. I wouldn't advise you Google it because your parents might find it and then have a go at you, unless you know how to use in-private browsing or incognito browsing, which every single adult knows how to do for reasons I'm not going to talk about, and I've definitely gone off on another tangent now. Let's move on. Player number 6, I Never Want to Die, Medic. Yeah, this person basically uses Medic all the time. We're focusing a lot on players that do the same thing all the time, but that's as a lot of players actually, because they want to use the self-heals in a game that has attrition. So when every other class out there gets shot and then has to hide or cry or quit, the medic can just heal up over and over again. It's pretty easy. You get shot, you heal. You get shot, you heal. You get shot, you heal. You maybe kill someone, but basically you get shot and you heal. Number 7, only plays with a squad dude. Yep, these are the guys that play in an organized squad of people that are very able at the game, but they only ever play together. Going into these lobbies that don't have team balances and just stomping the game for 2 hours, then probably going to look at themselves in the mirror and ask themselves who's the best, who's the greatest, who's about to be Battlefield famous. I'm on an absolute roll today, by the way. But we've all seen these guys, the guys that only appear with that clan tag and then 3, 4, 5, 9 other ones in the lobby, all going, 25 and 0 as they all revive each other running around. And yeah, it's more fun to play together, so I get it, but it doesn't stop it being annoying, considering the game never moves anyone around. Player number 8, constant lag bro. We've all seen these players, the guys that have low ping and still lag about, or the guys that have really high ping and lag about, or basically just people lagging about in this game because people lag in this game. It's not a clever statement, it's just factual. The constant lag bro hip-hop behibbities around the map, phasing in and out of existence, not really getting any kills, but also not really being killed, and something we're all too familiar with at this point. Player number 9, nothing is my fault guy. I think we all personally know one of these, whether it's on Battlefield 5 or any other game. It's never their fault. If they die, it was the game's fault. If they don't get a kill, it was the game's fault. If their wife leaves them, it was the game's fault. It was nothing comes down to them. And this probably extends to the rest of their life as well, to be honest with you. They burn the food, the oven's too hot. They fail an exam, the exam was stupid. Especially if the exam was an STI exam, in which case it's definitely not their fault. Maybe we'll leave that one there. Player number 10 is the slidey boy. I am absolutely one of these. This gets complained about in my videos all the time, but sliding is very effective in this game, and thus I'm a slidey boy. I was a slidey boy. They said, see you later, boy. What happened to Avril Lavigne? So yeah, rather than running around everywhere, we slide everywhere. And you see these guys all over the map now. Again, there's not that many people left playing this game, so a good percentage of people playing it are kind of tryhards, and they slide around the map as if it's an ice rink. Player number 11, bipods for life player. This person only uses guns with bipods because, in their words, why control recoil when you don't have to control recoil? And so this player can be found prone on the ground, on a roof, on your mum, wherever, prone everywhere or behind cover, using a next to no recoil weapon, melting people, and honestly, yeah, I mean, fine, bipods are there, use them if you want, it's whatever, moving on. Player number 12 is quit the game guy. So not really a player anymore, an ex-player. There's a lot of these. This is probably the most common type of player on this list. There's not too much to say about them, they've gone. Hence why I've got no footage on screen right now. They haven't played Battlefield since God knows when, so yeah, more power to them. I hope they're having fun on Warzone or Destiny or Animal Crossing, whatever it is these days. Player number 13, the constant rager. So you remember the nothing is their fault guy? Well, this is that person, but like times 100. Rage emanates from them stronger than the smell of their mum's basement. I feel I'm I'm getting really harsh in this one. It's just a joke. Chill, everybody. But this person fails to control their anger. They rage at everything. If they die, they rage. If the player next to them bumps them a little bit, they rage. If they can't climb something in the game, they rage. And honestly, this is starting to sound like me. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm talking about me. But I don't live in my mum's basement, so it can't be me. It's someone else, like me, but in a basement. There you go. That summed it up for you. Number 14, identifies as a plane. So this person only uses planes. They are the plane. They embody the plane. They're inside the plane, and the plane's inside them. They are both themselves and the plane. They only used the plane. If the plane's not available, they sit in the menu and wait for one. Player number 15, the corner camper. Do I really need to explain this one? Probably not. We've seen this in every FPS game that's ever been released. This player finds a corner and lives in the corner. They're never homeless because there's always corners. You ever noticed that? The world's full of corners. I should probably write some sort of thesis on this. I feel like there's genuine value in it. Player number 16, the hyper rusher. This person never stops running. They run everywhere. They rush here, there. They only use weapons that involve rushing. And honestly, it looks kind of fun, but they just throw themselves in. Doesn't really matter if they get kills or they die. They can claim they're getting involved because apparently kill death ratio doesn't matter, which it does. But some people tell you it doesn't because look, basically if you're dead, you can't help the team, but I'm not getting into that right now. The hyper rusher is hyper aggressive and probably hyper. They probably need some sort of medication, to be honest with you. Player number 17, the pro player without a pro scene. Oh, we all know who these guys are. They are competitive players, but not all of them. Most competitive players are completely fine. It's all good, but some of them, oh god, some of them, they act as if they're actual professional Battlefield players. Now, I hate to break it to you, but the closest thing to a professional Battlefield player at this point is a YouTuber, because we actually get paid for it. But I'm not knocking it. Look, I feel sorry for you guys. If you guys have the skill out there to actually play this game professionally, it does kind of suck that you don't have a pro scene because the game really isn't supported from a competitive point of view, and that sucks. I feel your pain. I'm sorry about that, but still, it's kind of funny how some of you act, so I thought I'd make fun of it. I hope you can laugh at yourself as well. Player number 18, the meta user. They find out what the best stuff is, and they only use that. That's a lot of people in this game. When the Type 2A was like the easiest thing to use in the game, people used that, and they only used that. The same went for the STG, the same goes for now probably the semi-auto rifles, the same went for all of the things that were good. These people used them, and then never used them again once they weren't the best thing around anymore. But again, can't really hold this one against them. Some people just want to use the stuff to get some kills, so cool. I hope you're enjoying your boring existence. Player number 19, the old meta user. Yeah, so this is kind of the same thing but different. They learned what was good at one point, but then didn't really keep up with what was actually good moving forwards as the meta changes and shifts. So they're still using the stuff that they thought was good then, and it's not good anymore. But to just let them do it, it's fine. Sometimes ignorance is bliss. And then player number 20 is the not my Battlefield player. Now this is different from the player that quit the game. This is the player that was posting not my Battlefield everywhere, but then still played the game and still plays the game now. And like, I get that you weren't happy with it, and I complain about the game a lot. It's not how it should be. But maybe you could have been a bit more constructive than just posting hashtag not my Battlefield here, there, and everywhere without any suggestions or coherent sentences or words spelt correctly or grammar, really anything useful. And if you're still playing the game now, is it your Battlefield now? I'd just be interested. Please let me know. And that's it. That's what I've got. I don't know if that's better or worse doing it unscripted, but it's something that I've done, so that's cool. And I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments which one you are, which ones I missed, and if you had a good time. If you did enjoy it, leaving a like is massive for me. It really does help the channel to grow, and it's really hard to get viewership on Battlefield right now, so I'd appreciate it. If you're new here, please do consider subscribing and maybe turning on notifications to stay up to date with the massive amount of content I'm putting out and will continue to put out. And all the links to my social media, including Patreon, can be found in the description and my pinned comment. Here is the Board of Awesome for the epic people who already support me on Patreon. They're all absolute heroes, and I love them all deeply and, of course, often. If you want to join them on the Board of Awesome, the link to the Patreon page is in the description and my pinned comment. And with all that said, I am GetGoodGuy, and I'll see you next time. Laters. Do anything you can to win that gunfight, even if you're screwing up, rather than accepting death before it's even happened or necessary. Next tip, take your time. If you're using a weapon that requires precision, don't feel like you have to take fast shots because that's what Stud A does or whatever.